Hey guys, I keep getting requested to put together this Reddit automation. It seems to be a very popular, very widely requested automation, let's say. Um, Personally, I'm not quite sure why, as it's very simple to build and there's kind of tools out there already, but nonetheless, we will, of course, put it together for you. Um, Things to be aware of, like just before you go in here and start spamming Reddit with links. We will build this and put this together, but just from like a marketing point of view, giving marketing advice, Reddit as a community is very sensitive to people who are just kind of spamming links. So you do need to be careful. Like we can introduce ChatGPT here to try to change the name of the link somewhat to make it more unique content. Reddit moderators are also kind of not they're really quite strict with what they allow you to do, whether you're promoting OnlyFans models or e-commerce or a SaaS company or crypto or whatever it is. They will ban your accounts quite quickly. So I will set this up and I will show you how it is all done, but I'm just, my personal advice is don't go spamming. Anyway, there's like a 10-minute time limit, but don't go spamming like the same kind of links all the time. I'm not sure what everyone else is planning on promoting, but I think in my case, I may do like my YouTube channel. In fact, my YouTube channel is kind of varied, but I could get an RSS feed of all of my videos would be one way. Let's not do that. Let's do a crypto instead. We'll stick with Cointelegraph. And so the reason that I'm doing this is just a way for me to be able to automatically grab and scrape content from a specific article. So we can kind of keep the automation running automatically. I can just take content. And if you have your own personal blog, I did used to do this. You can just, whenever a new page is created, you can generate an RSS feed and just kind of pull the data from there. Okay, fine. So we'll come over here. We'll do rename table. We'll literally just do posts. And then over here, we can do a blank table and we can do Reddit or subreddits. Okay, so we will scrape the posts from here and we will just dump them into posts. Title, link, image, description, created time, post date. Also post scheduler. Okay, so we'll come in and we'll make a new scenario. And to start off with, we will pull from an RSS feed. Feed is there. That's the number of items. We'll take 20 for now. We can just run that once. Airtable, create a record. Okay, so we'll take 20 links from there. And these are all getting added in and made. Sorry, I should have made that into a image field. Turn it into an attachment field. Delete those. And description we took in HTML as well, so I'll just flip that into plain text. Description summary. So for plain text, we can just come in here and we can run strip HTML and put the description in there. And under here, we can add in the media content properties, image URL, save that, run, and then I'll just make a gallery view as well, just to make it a little bit more visual. And for example, here we have like a load of posts. So I'm not sure what type of use cases people have, but I would assume that the main ones would be for like blog posts. And so I would follow a structure such as this. I would extract from an RSS feed. And so whenever a new blog post is created, we can go and post it onto specific subreddits. Another thing that I would do is, if I was doing this for OnlyFans, is we could potentially one way of doing it would be to scrape the best performing content that has been on specific subreddits and then get your creator to copy it, and then just kind of schedule the posts like that. That would be a very easy way. But yeah, and then following here, we would just come down and we can do at this point we can do Airtable search records. So I would literally just take a list of top 100 crypto subreddits as in this example, but feel free to take it as CSV or whatever else. Altcoin. CSV, yeah, good. All right. That's the other thing that I love is there's just so much kind of information online. Like we can just find databases very easily sorted by the size of their users and the specific niche that they're in. So we could kind of filter down based on that. You could do the same for adult subreddits if it's OnlyFans that you're promoting. And so we can copy this, bring this over into our Airtable. We'll put a formula. ID. Formula. Formula into name, and then we can do a relation up to posts. and back into the grid view. And then I will probably, an easy way to kind of verify this is to look up the subreddit ID just to make sure that we haven't posted there already. And we can even make something like a posts queue. Let's say that you wanted more flexibility over this. We could put in a status of like, if you're automatically scraping content, it's not always a good idea to post all of it. So you could do an approval system. So we can build this out to be that anything that appears within this queue that has status approved, that is what will be posted. Approved and denied. Save. Done. Okay, so yeah, anything that is in here under approved will automatically be posted. And again, we'll just come down into Airtable. I'm going to put a just put a router here, unlink that. And so I just want to then search in the posts queue to kick off the automation. Search in posts queue, and we can do like one Reddit post at a time for one post at a time. Search records. We can take 10 from there, and then we'll just add a filter on here. And Reddit, it's super easy to do. We literally just do submit a post. Click this, Nath Ashton Reddit, so you can just connect your Reddit account. Like literally log in and it will be connected. And then on the title, so I will edit these again just to kind of show some possibilities of what we can do. Subreddit name, we literally take from the subreddits that we took in the first place. And I can then choose what type of image post this is. Is it what type of post this is? Is this a link, a text post, an image post? And various different subreddits are going to have various different rules as well, which is kind of like the other reason that I was saying is like you can't spam these subreddits. Like you will damage your accounts. You need to go through and understand what are all of the rules that you need to kind of follow on the specific subreddits. Or if you are going to use an automation, the way that I would use something like this is I would have burner accounts, and I would be using, you're not going to be targeting like the super high quality subreddits, but you could spam a lot of the lower quality ones, a lot of the smaller subreddits that have perhaps died off, particularly in like the adult niche. Anything with less than like, I don't know, 20,000 members on that specific subreddit will probably have less moderation, and you could kind of just go through and spam every single day. And some people will find and click on your link. But to get in these like bigger subreddits, you definitely can't kind of spam to them unless you're happy with losing accounts the whole time. So in my case, we'll do a link post even. Of course, if we also wanted to do an image post, we can add in the image of the URL that we have already. This URL here provided by Airtable, but I'm just going to do a link post, or you can do a text post, literally whatever you prefer. URL is link. Title, I'm just going to add in GPT-3 just to and then we'll come back into Airtable, update a record. How do we prefer to do that? Update a record. I'm actually going to make a separate field just so we can really track everything if you want to, because often the post will get removed, and so maybe it's better to do it this way: submitted posts, and we can track like their links, and you could potentially go back and scrape them later on if you wanted to. My Airtable submitted posts. Yeah, okay, so now we've got the post ID URL text. Okay, cool. Name, post ID, URL text. And we will link this to posts. And we can also link this to subreddits. Yeah, this is actually, it's not a bad solution. And now you can just very easily come in to see all of the exact posts that you've made. Subreddits. Create a record there. Integration. Let's refresh this. Post ID. Text. URL. Posts will go under, we need this ID, and then subreddits will be this one, so we know which subreddit it was posted to. And that is literally now done. And so then I will do sleep, and we need to sleep for at least 9 minutes on Reddit. You can't spam more than one post every 10 minutes. So I've put in 200-300-second delays, which makes up 10 minutes. And then we can implement AI here quickly. Cool. Grab this. Content application JSON, rapid API key. Rapid API key. Data query, what is AI? Okay. Write this in double quotation marks. Headline 2. Okay, so I'm literally just asking AI to return me an alternative headline to the existing one. And so that way, I mean, if anyone really goes through like the history and checks, it should just help us not being picked up by like some spam filters, essentially. So I can say, write me an alternative headline to posts, and let's just verify that this works well. It's rapid API key. Server space, yeah, that's fine. It's done a great job. Yeah, so that has worked very well. So we now have AI employed here as well. If we were doing text posts as well, we could just literally clone the module and just ask it to rewrite our text post as well. That would be absolutely fine. We just need to do a search actually as well, just to make sure that we don't add any duplicates up here. Post title. Title equal to title ID does not exist. Condition title. I'm just going to shut off this path just for a second. URL does not exist. Let's just run down here and make sure we're working correctly. It seems my Reddit account is no longer connected because I'm not a big Redditor. Also closed. Okay, continue. Yeah, this is a very old Reddit account. Interesting. Surprised that still works. And then the other thing that we can actually do that will be useful is we can require 3 link. We can if there's an error when submitting it, when we create the record here, we can also log the error, because there will be errors, because as I mentioned, each subreddit has different rules and we need to know what they are. So yeah, and here's a perfect example. Add error handler. Bring that down here, and we will log what the error is. error detail. Okay, well, we have the next one posted, and so this failed to be posted, although it doesn't say why. And this post is awaiting moderator approval. But it has posted correctly. We just need a moderator to approve it. So that has actually worked, and we just need to fix. Why didn't we get the detail of the first error? Message error handler. Error detail. Message, that's why. So now whenever we have an error in future, that will be kind of logged down there. And next up, all we want to do is do condition. Comment here. Subreddit posts. So from submitted posts, yeah, okay. So we need to just change that to be linked to submitted posts. I just want to get it in plain text. Grab subreddit ID from there, and then we'll just look up that instead. Submitted posts, subreddit ID, change it over to subreddit ID. And that's going to return as an array. So then we're just going to do a formula. Subreddit IDs posted, formula, and we will literally just take that field, and now it will return us as plain text, even though it just contains the same information. But we can run that. Run that. Condition. Subreddit IDs. What was the name of the field? Condition, subreddit ID is posted, does not contain subreddit ID, or even name or ID. It actually doesn't make a difference. We'll just make it case insensitive in case of any case discrepancies, and that is how we make sure that no duplicates are sent over to the same subreddit. This page contains everything that we scraped in the first place. That field is also no longer relevant. This can be hidden. This contains a list of all of the subreddits that we have posted to, currently cryptocurrency and r/Bitcoin. This contains all of the subreddits that we want to post to. And so if we leave this running, I don't want to get my account banned. So I don't want to run through like a 100 different posts, and I've got no interest in promoting crypto. But if we leave that automation running, it is going to sequentially run through each of these places and go ahead and leave a post in each of those locations. And once it's been posted, they will be listed back here. And any errors that occur will be here, and you can see all of the activity now of every single post that you submitted to a subreddit. So I hope that was helpful, and any questions, as always, you can leave a comment below on Kajabi.